everybody, my name is Etu Roots and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber here, you're welcome, and if you're an old subscriber here, thank you so much for staying. Okay guys, today we'll be talking about something very interesting, and we're going to be talking about how people view NYSC and why it is not a scam. If you ask a lot of people, I think their first response would be that NYSC is a scam, it should be scrapped. But today we're going to be debunking that myth. Without further ado, guys, let's get right into it. So hi guys, hello everybody. Yes, we have our guest on seat, and to my right hand side I have
put your right hand side.
I have Oluwatosin Oyetayo, the program officer for Junior Achievements Night. And to
and this is logo too. You can click this link.
So yes, and our other guest is Titi Taiwo. Oh my god. Yeah, Titi is a proficient copywriter. She's a sister, a friend, a lot of things, as in she's, you know, when you have that friend that is seasoned with grace. And yes, Tosin too is one, you know, that kind of friend you can always reach out to, and they will be blunt with you and able to tell you how it is. You always have things. The word is have an answer to everything. That it has the right answer. Tosin has the right answer to most of the questions. So today, I think we've said that before. We've spoken about it before, and now let's get into the topic that a lot of people feel like NYSC is a scam, and you would always hear words like you'd always hear words like they should scrap it out, and that 1 year is a waste. They let them just give me the money and I'm able to do whatever it is I want to do. But for me, I feel like among every other things, one good thing about Nigeria is still that NYSC bring people together from different tribes. There's no discrimination, or except even if you want to work out your relocation or anything, you'll still come to a place where you see people that you're higher than, or you just meet people generally, and the idea is for you to meet people and mix with them. You possibly might not have that opportunity again. It's just like a one-time opportunity for me. It's either you make use of it and just genuinely meet people. I met these two amazing people during my NYSC, and for God knows how, they helped me align with my values. What that one thing I believed in, and they were able to pull it out. They saw those potential. So that's one of the benefits of. What if I said that?
All thanks to Titi.
What if I said that NYSC was a scam and I wasn't going to make anything profitable out of it, and I just come? You see, a lot of people just want to take pictures with the clothes. Yeah. That's why up until NYSC, a lot of people are still not sure of what they want to do. So let's start with Tosin. What's your take on NYSC being a myth?
NYSC being a scam, right?
Yeah, a scam, a myth, and do you think it should be scrapped?
Personally, yeah, that's just me, right? The sense of humor in me. Yeah, personally, I feel that there are two sides to it. Like Ruth said, right, we've discussed about this on a personal note before deciding to shoot this video. And I think I would just like to take us back a little to what she mentioned. And I think the problem generally is those persons coming into NYSC not having a sense of purpose and direction for what to do. And that is where the whole problem comes in, right? Because they are living a fixed kind of system where there's a routine way of doing things. They know that they go to class in the morning, after class, they get to the hostel or go to their house, they meet friends and gist and probably go for night classes, they have assignments, and then leaving that system down to a free life where you need to plan yourself is probably where the problem first comes in. Yeah. So I think the first problem of whether NYSC is a scam or not is probably we need to have another conversation around what to expect after school. So yes, so I think bringing that in will give final year students a sense of direction as to what to expect after school, and they would not just be clueless about okay after school NYSC. You are not just coming for NYSC after school, because that's where they don't know. You know, this is where they mess up with their mind, because I can speak from experience. I was posted to Adamawa for my service year where I did my 3 weeks camp, and I knew that there were a lot of convincing. I intentionally did not go to NCCF, right, because I knew a lot of people had, they had the problem of being convinced that this is where God wants to be, this is God's will. Okay. Coming down to Adamawa is God's will, and God has a plan for you in Adamawa. For crying out loud, God can have another plan for me in Ogun State. So it does not necessarily have a plan for me in Adamawa. That's why it brought me to Adamawa. I would have been in Adamawa for a different reason, just for touring, right? I've chosen not to go to Adamawa. And for that reason, you know, you need to build yourself to a point of having to understand your kind of person and have a personal relationship with the divine creator, like God. I don't want to make this conversation look too spiritual, right? So having a kind of personal relationship with your divine creator, such that you know him as a person, you know, you have a relationship with him, not the God that your parents pitched to you. It is the God that you know. Exactly, that you have experience. And
somebody else's conviction doesn't just
justifies whatever.
Let me hold you there.
Yeah,
sorry,
exactly.
we'll come back to this. Okay, now to Titi, why do you think personally NYSC should be scrapped? Or you went through a lot with that. What's that his name? That guy did me strong. What's his name? Oh, this is our LGI. Oh my God.
Okay. No,
I think if to go by, should NYSC be scrapped, I would have really, looking at what I went through, I had a lot of experience. If I did not still say that NYSC should be scrapped, and you look at people that didn't really go through that process and still come out to say that the only thing they do there is CDS, and these are people that don't even engage in CDS. They don't engage. Yes, I met Titi. Titi was my CDS president, but before becoming my president, let me do a little backstory. My first day in CDS meeting, I just came and they said we should come out and say our name. And I'm getting back to my seat and somebody saying, "Hello, Ruth." And I'm like, oh my God. You just got to a place and you don't expect that somebody will remember you. We're a lot, I think we're up to 300 there, if not even more. And somebody's coming to meet me and you are calling me by my name. I'm like, oh, pay me daily. It was a lot of things. I'm like, okay, I don't know anybody. I'm just coming and looking at everybody. I'm like, why are these people opening teeth? But we're just all seated there. So what do you think? Do you think, I see how much you put in so much passion into what you did all throughout the 1 year and how you spoke. I think that's one of the things that attracted me to Titi. She would always speak about get a skill. Titi is skill person. Get a skill, be valuable and all of that. Do you think NYSC, I'm sure you had that knowledge probably before service year, and I think most people don't have that. So what do you think prepared you, and do you think, before we even go to what do you think prepared you, do you think NYSC is a scam? Do you think they should scrap it?
Okay, so, well, let me say thank you for having me here. First things first, I don't think NYSC is a scam, because for me, I feel like the period of 1 year is a time for you to actually build up something on the side, and then you still get like the tweak to sustain yourself.
Okay.
Like that's what I feel. So when I used to be CDS president, one of the things I was emphasizing to my CDS members was like many of them they were in schools. You are in schools, there's no plan that they will retain you. You could use that opportunity, you could use that 1 year to learn a skill. It could be like an internship period. So by the time you are leaving, you already have a skill that you could use to like start up from somewhere small. So I think that's just my belief for me. NYSC is not a scam. Besides, CDS is there.
Yeah, you can engage.
Yes, you can engage, and that's the problem. See, many people come to CDS, and then they come to CDS, they're like, what are they even saying? And they keep on complaining that the president is. My own question is, why can't you go and be the president? Because that's what they always. When I also got there too, and I was coming from Port Harcourt, and even in Port Harcourt, that's why for the word about SDG. The passion there was fire. Like fire, I have fire people in SDG. They come into Abeokuta, the passion was kind of low.
Everybody's relaxed.
Yeah, everybody was so relaxed. They just come to the city and they just be talking about things that are not. And
I think people focus more on things that are not working.
Yeah.
And you can actually be the change wherever you are, just like you said today.
So that's what I feel. I feel like if people had done, because the thing is that when you develop a community, you also develop yourself.
Yeah.
And NYSC was like a pedestal for me to get into sci-fi.
Okay.
But when they were asking me when I was doing my sci-fi interview, what have you done? I was giving my NYSC and they were so impressed. Oh wow, within 1 year you were able to do this and that, and that was it. But how many people now can say that this is what they did during NYSC? So I think it boils down to how did you use that time? How did you use the time? Did you use it wisely, or you were playing around, messing around with the whole 1 year? So that's what will determine if it is really a scam or if it is a myth.
Okay, thank you very much, Titi. It was really an insightful one that a lot of people do not use that time. I feel like when you come to somewhere with a blank mind, you're supposed to like scout around. Okay, what else can I do? If you're in a school, for example, that is not taking all of your time, I think it's an advantage for you to do something with yourself. Even if you're in an organization, you can also add something to yourself. If it's only learning how to hold a conversation or strike that you can learn. It's funny how people can look at you in the eye and they can't say anything. They are probably due trained, or they are scared of what the other person would say, or they can't even stand. Let's take it to this particular lady that was vying for a post, and a guy stood up and made a mess of her. She was in tears and she almost left. I was really dragging. They used to say I'm advocate of justice.
Women advocate.
I was dragging her that will stand. She said no. She was literally crying, and I'm like, you'd see that this person has not built emotional capacity.
Yeah.
In the outside world where they would throw anything, they would throw anything at you. And nobody cares whether you take it right or you take it wrong. So people need to really build that everybody will not always say something good about it. Now you spoke about the spiritual aspect. That's
pastor.
You should before I come back, this is not for his volunteer. Hey, big volunteer, in fact. And I forgot to mention that Tosin has trained over 1 million students on different aspects: financial literacy, speaking skills, what's this other thing? Work readiness.
Leadership.
Guy, oh good, man. Yes, and it's quite an interesting person. Before we come down to volunteering and what, I knew you said you started volunteering right from your after school before you got into the NYSC. After school, that was you volunteering since like undergraduate.
Technically, yes.
Okay, before I go fully into, you were talking about the spiritual aspects, and you're like, so you know God for yourself. Yeah, I think that's another advantage for NYSC. You are away from your parents, and you can actually decide that, okay, God, it's me and you. So like you're not sure about a lot of things. And I feel like as Christian, especially if you are born into a Christian home, church become a routine if you're not very careful. Because you just know that every Sunday I have to go to church. Not because you have a relationship with God. You know that it's important I'm in a department. Not because you have that relationship. Because you know that my dad would ask me, you are staying with my own father. What do you want to say here? You are not going to church for. So I think it's a great avenue for you to know God for yourself. And you were talking about that, and so I like that you shed more light into it. You have the floor.
No, it's actually in line with what I was trying to land on when I was speaking, that the base of knowing God and having a relationship, whether you're Christian or Muslim, irrespective, right, is that for decision making, like she said. So in that light, for example, you got opportunities posted to Adamawa, just like me, or probably Borno, Maduguri, you get right, and then you're being convinced that you need to stay in Maduguri because God has a plan for you. God can have a plan for you. I'm not disputing that. But it now boils down to what exactly you have in stock for yourself. Does it align with what they are telling you God has a plan for? So the part of having a relationship is for you to be certain within yourself that you are doing the right thing. so that it will align with whatever you want to become in life, right? There's one factor that God has given to us as human, and it does not interfere with, and that's the power of choice.
Yeah,
that's another conversation. Yeah, that's another conversation for another day. So that choice is what you interfere with when you have a relationship with God. The ability to discuss and relate with God,
like a father.
Exactly, in the area of choice and decision making. That I'm doing this. Like what will be the outcome? And it speaks. So that aside, then having to go through the path of knowing God, having a good grasp of what life holds for you, what after school, what next, having all those knowledge helps you to prepare yourself well for what NYSC holds, and then having a foresight of what you want to become also. Just like she mentioned, what Junior Achievement Nigeria does, right? Bridging the gap between the classroom and the workplace. So having a foresight onto what you want to do. So for example, Titi, right from when she was in school, understanding the pace of acquiring a skill.
Yeah.
So it helped her even when she got outside, when she left school and she became a core member, right? So she knew that she needed to leverage on that part and continue in it. And she already had the knowledge. It was not when she got to NYSC that she knew about SDG. She had an idea about it. She had the knowledge about it. Exactly. So, so having all those information picked one way or the other, by the time they are expounding on it, it helps you to make proper decision and plan yourself towards how you are going to. I'll just share an insight into how my own NYSC process and
I was going to
PPA,
say that.
PPA search got interesting. So I got, like I said, I was posted to Adamawa. I knew I was not staying in Adamawa, so I'd never even bothered to discuss with anybody as to whether it's God's plan or not God's plan. And the advantage for me is that Adamawa, if you get opportunity to be posted to Adamawa or Maiduguri, because of insecurity, you get automatic relocation, right? Yeah, so I applied and I was posted to Oyo State. Is and I wanted to work with an HR, is it A or an HR firm, right? It's HR firm, and I knew the person, I knew the person, the owner of the organization. I walked up to him, got a reference letter, and submitted it to NYSC. The person followed me, Femi, what's his name? I would remember later on. He followed me to the NYSC secretariat, met with the state coordinator, we discussed, and she said that it was approved, right? But they cannot post me. She approved it though. Now this is the controversy. She approved it, but they cannot post me to him directly because of my course of study. I studied chemistry.
Okay.
So they wanted me to go to a school. However, they wanted me to go to a school where I would have flexible time and still work with him. Yes. And why did I push for this? Is because, like I said, planning. I already emphasized that immediately after school, this is the line I want to go to, management, like the line of management. So I wanted to gain the experience so that immediately after service year, peradventure I need to, upscale with my experience to get a job at another organization. I already have the basis of how the workplace works in that line. So I got there, and immediately after we left the place, I checked my portal and I said I was posted to a secondary school, which I did not plan. Which I did not plan for, and that was how my own journey to NYSC began. But the thing is that, like I said, focus and plan. So right there and then, when I ended up, I just forfeited the part of the HR knowledge that I wanted to gain, and I focused on volunteering. And I was given to the students, ensure that my 1 year was worth it, and the rest is.
It's eventually paid off.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jason. That was a great one. Before I move to Titi, I know that both of us understand, before I move to your NYSC experience, and that both of us understand focus. We'll be talking about being focused, being sure. A lot of people are not even sure. They don't even know how to. I've heard a lot of people say they don't know how to navigate what they want to do. So I want us to talk about it. Like, how do I even know what I want to do? It's actually okay to not be sure, but not be in that state for a long time and you are still there. Like, how do I know? I like to tell people that first, I know that you have to really sit down with yourself. But some people don't even know how to sit down with themselves.
Yes,
How do I have that conversation with myself that these are the list of things that I feel like I'm good at? And sometimes you don't know you are good at something unless you push for it, or unless something pushes you towards it. If they tell you that, okay, you probably become a program officer, maybe when you were in, would I say 100 level or 200 level, would you have really emphasized it?
Program officer.
Yes.
I did not even know what program officer was. I was like,
Yeah, that's the idea, because you wouldn't believe that, okay, I can be this person. So sometimes I think it just moves you gradually, and you have to be ready. Like, so how do I become focused? Say I'm unclear about a lot of things, and I'm just a human being.
Okay, well, being a person that I've always been this kind of person that I like. If I since I was secondary school, I had a lot of vision.
yeah, we are parents in secondary school.
Yeah, and it was my senior. Yeah. So the thing was that when I was secondary school, I'm giving insight on how to recognize what you want to do. I was in commercial class. I went to commercial class because I felt like I liked business, and apart from that, I felt like I wanted to become an accountant and a banker. Now I noticed when I was in commercial class that okay, so literature was like an optional subject. Literature or geography?
Geography.
Yeah, I chose literature because I like literature naturally, and I discovered that I will spend more time reading literature than I will spend reading my other books.
Okay.
I loved reading it so much, and it gave me this joy. So when I got to SS3, I began to do a self-reflection. It just happened to me. I began to tell myself that mathematics, I don't like mathematics. I was having red maths.
Simple subject.
And I looked at things. Government, I was having A. Commerce, I was having A. This one, literature, I was doing very. I thought to myself that wait, let me be realistic. If I should go and do banking, that I will do mathematics throughout my university. I know I'll have plenty F9. But if I go for a course that requires writing, I can't remember myself ever being stranded before an examination for any subject that requires writing. And I told myself that if I go to the university and do something, so I was thinking that if I do history, if I do literature, if I do mass communication, I know that I will do well in university. I told myself, okay, which one do I really have interest in? Okay, literature was it, and that was it for me. So now the thing is that nobody can really tell you.
It's you sitting down with yourself and writing out
exactly.
Things that
and the thing is that the way you can know what you're supposed to do is number one, look at your passion. What are you passionate about?
Did you get that?
Are you joking?
You look at your passion and you look at your experiences.
Okay.
Our experiences shape us.
Yeah.
Like now, me becoming a SaaS copywriter, it was because I worked in a tech company and they were building softwares.
Yeah, okay.
So my experience shaped the niche I went for. So those are the things, and the thing is that you would almost never figure it out. Nobody now. Even the Bible says we see in parts, we know in parts, we understand in parts. But then
my friends, what God lives.
But the thing is that you just have to take that bold step.
Okay.
And just start going. You don't know where to take you to, but then nobody knows the future.
Sure.
But the only way you can know that the future will be good is by the consistent actions you take today. Yes. You don't know where to lead you to, but just keep on doing it. Eventually you get there.
Okay, before we come back to Tosin, Titi, let me emphasize what she said. She said, pay attention to the things you know that you're good at. If you have to sit down with yourself and write 10 things, I think starting with what you love about yourself, then you can now move to what you're passionate about. When I mean passionate, it's not a big word. Like what attracts you, what you like to do. Because somebody say, okay, what do you mean? It just comes naturally and you are not forced to do it. You just like me. I can speak to somebody straight up the whole day. I just know.
Like things you can do without getting paid.
I just know I won't get tired.
Exactly.
So right from when I was in secondary school, I knew that it has to do with people. Among your friends, just to the little details. Just jot it down, write it down, and I'm sure once you're done with that, then pray about it. I would not negate the aspect of prayer that God should help you. And sometimes when you start putting desires in your heart, anywhere you turn to, you just start saying that thing. There was a time when I was praying, and every time I thought, I just start seeing people speaking. I just knew that I was speaking. Because that's when I learned of DDK, Debola. I started learning of different people, and whenever I just see them, I just know that this was God saying that this is what you should do.
I was not going to mention DDK because I was like one of our sessions.
That lady is fire. I've known her for over.
Like she really changed. It was because of I think I did something that
okay, vision.
Yes. A session was really hard.
Yeah, so you can't listen to DDK and be ordinary. That's somebody I know. So it's just a lot of things. That's one way to know how to identify what.
Yeah, so focus. Let me put focus back in place for NYSC, decluttering the myths, right? So for focus, I would just say that first and foremost, don't go out of place. Stick to what you studied in school. First and foremost, on the surface.
Okay.
Now that will determine whether or not it is what you want to do. Now look at what you studied in school. Do you want to pick up a job with it? Or you are looking at another side entirely, another career path entirely. Now that's what will help your focus, like Ruth just mentioned. So if you are looking to pick a job from the course you studied in school, right? So during NYSC, what you are supposed to surround yourself with is gathering enough experience or picking up a course that would help you stay relevant in that course of study and picking up a job in that line. Right, so for example, let's say you studied human resource or project management in school. You can go ahead during your NYSC to take up course on HRM, PNP, exactly. All those things will help you to be well positioned even after NYSC.
Even though some of them are rushed, actually, I don't think a lot of people understand, but it just takes
exactly. That's the part of being focused, right? So that NYSC will be relevant to you, because when you are doing all those things, you would get a sense of the fact that your NYSC is useful to you.
Yes.
Because after NYSC, those are things you will count on.
And most people give those things at a subsidized rate.
Exactly.
Like,
for NYSC,
if it's 100K
for core members,
yes. 50K,
exactly. Installments. Exactly. So if you want to make your NYSC days really, really worth it, right? Those are things that, like in the part of focus, like we said, after knowing God, writing down what you want to do and following it passionately, right? Then focus daily on it. Put a structure. The same structure that you had in school, bring it back to this NYSC. That's what will make it valuable to you, right? Bring it back, put a structure to it, and follow it through, like religiously. Follow it through religiously, and before you know it, you would have seen that your NYSC. See, the truth is that nobody is intimidating anybody.
Yeah.
You are just not doing anything. That's why you feel that somebody is intimidating you. You are just not doing anything. So the same person, same colleague that you are serving together that takes like 5 certificates away after NYSC did something during that NYSC.
And even if you cannot afford, you can take online
courses. Exactly, still the same thing. Exactly. So you see that we are all saying the same thing, right? So it's just about knowing and following through. So I've said that in light of probably you are following through with the course you study. And if you are not also going to go in the direction of the course you study, that is when you need, like Ruth said, sit down, write out the things that you love doing passionately. Then from there you start crossing out the thing that can bring money, sustainable money. Yeah. Sustainable money.
Because money first.
If you don't manage this NYSC time it will it will tell after NYSC. So you need to focus on the part that you know that okay, if I do this, it will still bring me money. After which, when I have the money, I can now do this.
Yes, I can now follow my passion.
Follow the remaining part of the passion. Yes. So let's say, for example, you like talking. Management is not a good thing to follow as a fresh graduate. There's a lot of investment to management, right? You might not literally go into that. But let's say you are good also at organizing programs or something. You can follow through the line of project management. That's another thing that Ruth mentioned that nobody knows about initially. Human resource. Those are the things that you can. Customer service also. You like talking. You like talking does not necessarily mean you can go into counseling. It can also be in light of customer service also. So just list out those things, how careers fall into those passions, and just focus on them. Use some of your NYSC allowance. You see that you're not shouting out. To ensure that you build yourself and connect.
Yeah,
connect with
people.
Connect. Like they will link you up. Connect. Don't just sit down. Exactly. Don't sit down at home. Connect. Attend seminars. Exactly. Attend seminars, meetings. Attend all those gatherings, and ensure that you at least make it a point of duty to yourself that once you go out for a concert or meeting or what's it called again? CDS meeting, all those events, ensure that you get somebody's contact. Network with people.
You can browse basic conversational tools. Like start with small talk.
Yes.
How are you?
How are you? Exactly.
Just connect. The person is, especially those that have hard face, they are very simple to communicate with.
Yes.
Unlike people that are friendly. They will
And Titi said something like, be genuine about that conversation.
Yeah, don't fake it.
Don't fake it.
Can actually
don't fake it. So it can go as low as seriously, I'm hungry. That alone can bring up the conversation.
I'm so saying like now. Exactly. I'm going to tell him after we're
No. Let's cut this part off. Like I was just referencing I'm hungry. So for me, I believe in line with this conversation, and so that we can help you gain context from this part of this video, is that NYSC is actually not a myth.
Yeah.
It is not a myth. It's not a scam if you follow through with what you are supposed to do.
Yeah, your actions.
Exactly. Planning yourself well and doing what you feel will be profitable for you after NYSC. It's not going to be a scam for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Please, if you are still watching up until now, it means you're gaining value. Don't forget to like, subscribe, please comment. We'll be ready to answer all of your questions. Okay, now moving on to CDS. Now this question, I want to throw it at Titi. I know you once told me that you weren't prepared for being a president. They just told you. And how did you, because she actually did a wonderful job. This is one person that sees potential in people. And that's
I got
quality.
Through Titi.
And I made this answer wonderful. it was a lot. And I remember that day when because I'm very passionate about teenagers, I said she wanted to start up something. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I was going to join. And she's like, don't worry, you take over. And it felt like, hey, I also have other things to do, but I don't like to disappoint people, and it was something that I was interested in, so I just felt like it was a good opportunity to just help these young ones. And then somebody helped us during our time, so let's just help them. And I think we had over 100 students in a class where we talk to them every Wednesday, aside from junior achievements Nigeria, where we're both volunteering and giving our best back to
I'm not
society.
junior achievements, but she's just a friend.
Don't mind me. Hey, money is seated here like. So yeah, it was a good one. So now let's come to CDS. How were you able to pull off all of those projects you did? I know working with people is a lot. I understand that there can be some mood clash and all of those things. One of the things, I think one of the projects we did was providing 50 chairs to a public school, and it was a lot. It was one beautiful project, and we're grateful that we're able to provide seats. We go around counting seats. Titi must stress me. But then, how were you able to pull off all of those projects, and why do you think CDS is important? Because I think, especially that CDS part, people used to make reference to it that they don't do anything. Do you think that before choosing a president for that CDS, there should be an interview for them or something they're expected to do? Because some people just choose their president. My roommate then during NYSC or my flatmate, he always said that they don't do anything. Their president will just sit down chilling. I feel like before choosing someone as your president, maybe, I don't know how to explain this, maybe an alumni, they have to keep track of different people. So you don't just leave people like that and they just do anything. Yeah, how they can, especially the CDS part, how you're able to navigate it, and what do you think can be done differently?
Okay, so I would say about the CDS, the thing is, most people are running away from being CDS leaders because there is no financial incentive. And then we have some who even when they get there, the little financial, like some of them still steal from the money. Like I was really surprised when another CDS was telling me that in their CDS they embezzled money. People pay to mark attendance. If you come late, you give CDS president money, then he or she marks the attendance for you.
Okay.
Now these are story cases. So now I feel like me now, the way I like the way the past president before me, Miriam, I like how she did. She noticed.
Yeah, Miriam was so good. I think I just loved that girl's spirit.
She was a very wonderful person.
Yeah.
So she noticed alongside some people that whenever they were talking about projects, in the cities I was very quiet. But then when it comes to projects, I will voice out. I will tell them what I think is right, what they are doing wrong. I'll tell them what they can do to improve. I'll give them ideas. So I think they were noticing like my track record. So when it was time to become president, and then
Another thing, sorry for cutting you short. Please, like, what's the word I was trying to say? Say something during a meeting so people can notice you. So you don't. With that, you don't have to fight for maybe I want to make a change. You don't have to fight for people recognize that potential in you and they are able to pick you.
Yeah. So that was it. Although I'm like kind of like a quiet person, but I think in that aspect I wasn't quiet because I was something I was passionate about. So during the selection process, Miriam asked who wanted to become the CDS president. I've never imagined before that I would become CDS president. As I said, I never prepared for it. When I was coming for NYSC, my plan was I'll come and enjoy, like continue learning my skill and working part time, and then after NYSC I'll be mid and everything. So CDS was even coming to the was even out of it. The whole while was not something I was willing to deal with. But they came to meet me and they were like, Ceci, we've been noticing you in CDS that you've been talking, contributing, and then we feel like if you take up this position, you would handle it well. So that was what she told me. And I thought about it, and that's why it's good to have good friends around you. I had 2 friends then in the hostel, Tayo and Frances. So I told them, but they were like, Titi, that's true, you like this thing, you're always, why not go for it? You're like, I feel like you could. So they also gave me this morale. They gave me this morale that you get that, it was possible. And I'm like, okay, if I have any problem, I'll come and meet you for a They're like, I'm sure now, we do your bar, that kind of a thing. So I think the support from my friends actually gave me that push. And then about managing the OCDS stuff, I would say leveraging people actually was it for me. Leveraging people like Roots now. Without Roots now, the SDG team, the one with the SDG club won't have been successful because like at some point I was getting tired already. CDS while sometimes when we finish, I did not want to attend that meeting. And to be honest, I did not want to. After all my shouting after clearance, I would not want to. But then I knew that I think sometimes I didn't even come. I knew that if I didn't come, I knew Ruth would be there. I knew she would be there. In fact, then my students in class, when I'm teaching them number, they'll be like, what about Auntie Ruth? She just helped. Like magically in that aspect, and then there was and then there was Muslimat. When it comes to planning projects,
so good at planning.
Muslimat is so good. Our project charter, everything. Muslimat was one that did it. Me and her sat down together one time. That was before we traveled December, and we outlined all the projects we were going to do throughout our CDS time. We put dates to everything and how we are going to accomplish it. During the time that we were going to raise 500,000 naira for the chair project, my ESCO said it's not possible.
It's not possible, yeah.
He said it's not possible because then we had just January, and then January we were supposed to do the finished project by April. Raise 500,000 naira by April, and then they were like, magic, it's not that kind of a thing. They were like I could literally see people that believed, Ruth believed, Muslims believed, my friends believed, and then. It's not just about talking, about mouth. These people were actually taking the action. They started drafting out letters. Like now, Ruth was there when we went to the Alaki of Egbaland's Palace and the like. So you see, leveraging people, that period, up the network that I could ever gather, I used it. My boss then, Bamofi, I contacted him. Since this project is something that will benefit everybody, so why not help us? And he began to. I remember Agubadai, currently it was one that Flavor told me that I like King Call. He was the first person that brought it to my notes. Immediately made me share the statement. I'm like, and I began to think about it though. Because he would just come randomly to the office then. And when he come randomly, he asking me, Titi, how far is? And I'm telling him, and he just be saying it randomly. Like, it's not like that.
And does not know that
yes,
and dropping ink.
I'm telling you, and that was how I picked up the ink. Then I went to meet PG and then the support. So I would say, every successful thing in life, you need God, you need people. I told God specifically that, God, please, we need to raise 500k between now and April, and it was exactly 500k that we got. It was exactly
Somebody's challenge. Yeah.
it was exactly 500k that we got. I also got to know that, man, leading people, we have all sorts of people.
It takes a lot to lead people.
And then I had some people in the CDS too who were like against me, who felt like people liked me and voted me into power. You get, and then I'll say something, they'll go back and be saying another thing. Yes, so yeah, I think that was just like this. That was just like the cycle. But all in all, that was it. But community development was fun. Honestly, we had fun. Remember the time we came to Koto?
Yeah.
We did the classical show and everybody was dancing after. We even
It's
did
always
video.
fun, actually. If you really are present, it's always fun. It's always fun.
Yes.
It's always fun. So thank you very much, Titi. That was really insightful. I learned a lot. Maybe I'll go back and listen to this video, then jot down.
Oh my God.
So we know that volunteering is something you can do during your NYSC. I would just like that you brush over something like why doesn't have to be long, because I don't want this video to be very long. So we're going to do a different video afterward. So why do you think?
You've got that actually.
Why do you think volunteering? Why do you think the core members should volunteer?
Volunteer. Don't volunteer. Alright, so different from Titi's story, I was not too present my CDS. Yeah, I actually wanted to join SDG, but different states and different.
Wow.
Yeah, so in Oyo State, I was giving publicity and
There's no publicity
media and
in
publicity or
State
something.
I think there is.
Yeah, editorial.
Oh, okay, editorial.
Editorial and publicity. Yeah, so but the editorial and publicity, we are not doing anything. There's this set of another editorial that supersedes our own editorial.
So you have to submit to them.
They are not even collecting anything from us.
Okay.
They are the ones doing everything.
It feels like you're there.
Yeah, so exactly. So that was why I was not really functional, because I really loved the fact that I was in a CDS group that I could be useful, but at the same time we're not so useful because games, politics and all those things played out. But then differently, I was engaged with volunteering, and like I mentioned, volunteering for me is personal CSR, and that's the way I pitch it to people too. So you don't look at an organization to say what do I want to gain, what's the benefit if I work with you guys, like can we go volunteering? Yeah, so volunteering is just giving back from the abundance of what you have acquired, free of charge. So that's the simple definition to volunteering, and that's how I see volunteering. So volunteering, you need to volunteer in the line of what you are passionate about. Yes, it also helps, right? So personally, I'm not into recycling. Yes, climate change is not my thing. And although as much as I like volunteering, if I join any organization that is into it, I might not be effective or relevant.
It has to be something.
So that's something that you are passionate
that's another one.
about. Yeah, so once you are passionate about that thing, then you seek an organization. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because now I know a friend or a boss, let's use the term boss, right? Emmanuel Kilanshaw, you can just read about him, is the head of, or is the founder of Secure Cycle. Yeah, so he volunteered with Teach for Nigeria, 2 years program, right? Teaching primary school under deserved primary school students. Yes, teaching them for 2 years and getting little or no money in return. And after the engagement, yes, with them, he started his own organization, a non-profit organization. Now, so that's one of the big things that volunteer does for you. You gain experience free of charge. That's it. You gain it free of charge, and you learn on the job. So volunteering in the light of a passion is helping you prune. Is it prune? It's prune, right? Yeah. Helping you develop what is residing inside of you. Yeah. So it helps you develop it, and you build yourself in that light to become relevant and to become a voice in that area. Yeah. So and you see, after volunteering with Junior Achievement Nigeria, I got a link to Jobberman, and it's still, all those things are still in line.
Money,
right?
people are born in Nigeria. Don't let them deceive you.
All those things are still in line. So it's just about focusing on what you are passionate about and looking at a space where you can give back to the society through that platform, leveraging on that platform to give back to the society and building yourself, gaining experience.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much, guys. It was a wonderful. I learned a lot. I gained a lot. So, as we come to the end of this video, in one word, I want both of you, what would you say to a present serving corps member and then an intending person who wants to serve? What is that one advice you would give them? So let's start from Titi.
Oh, okay. I think that caught me home prepared. Okay, one advice I would give to them is to maximize the most of the service here by finding something to do, like do something. You don't have to, it's okay not to have everything figured out.
But just
it's okay, but just do something. Yes, so I think that's what.
I know experience is a waste.
Yeah.
You just don't know where you might need it.
Yeah, it's compounds.
Yeah.
It's compound. Another time, people just look at you. Wow.
How did you come out and
Exactly.
speak so well?
That's it.
So, okay, Mr. Tosin.
Yeah,
what
so
was
this is one advice I would give for you not seeing NYSC as a scam, is managing your finance. You see, the reason is because you get too complacent with receiving that 3K.
Yeah.
Now you get to forget that after NYSC, the following month there's not that 3K. So I would advise that as little as can be, get to build a savings scheme for yourself. As little as can be. It can be as little as 5,000 or 10,000 from that 3K. Then like I mentioned, in case you skipped that when we started the video, ensure that you are positioned in a place where you are relevant and you can gather resources. That's important to you for NYSC. God supplies our needs, right? But you need to be in a place where you can gather resources for NYSC. Because when I was serving in a state where I had a friend, and I knew when I was out of food, I could easily go to his house. He was living with his parents and eat. So that way, during my NYSC, I was able to save, I think, 10,000 naira, right? Throughout the course of my NYSC. So, and it will help you. Yeah, 70K or something like that.
I don't want to know.
You know 70K because...
Actually, people don't be trying.
70K because when I came back from Adamawa, it took a while before I settled and I got an apartment settling down. So, but try to save some amount of money.
I think that was what kept me.
Exactly after NYSC. Wow. So that money would help you not to be pressured.
Yes.
After NYSC. That's just the essence of that money. Help you. It's not for, like I've said, in case you want to seek financial advice, that's another video and that's another counseling session or consulting session. You pay for that. But then, yeah, savings is not for a raining day. It is a backup system. And that's how we should see savings. So if you help, it will help you to keep body and soul together before you pick up a job. In all that you do during NYSC, manage your finances. Well.
Alright guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching till now. It means that you really enjoyed the video. Please don't forget.
Don't forget.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep on watching Truth with Roots. I'll be bringing very exciting episode. I'm sure you enjoyed our guests. These people, it's not easy. I have to go and pull them.
We're planning this video.
So many people. It's actually a lot. Thank you so much. Please share this video to people you just don't know. You just don't know who you might be helping. Just share, save a life by sharing this video. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video.
Bye.